Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. Yo, Africa. Strange things do happen in this world. There is an WhatsApp voice note that I received just now when I was about to record this episode. So it is from a dear brother of ours who is saying that he went to Chipinge and he was given some tokoloshis, and this healer lied to him that these tokoloshis they only need a husband and a wife. So now these tokoloshis, they are sleeping with him the other way around. I am still waiting for him to finish up his confession. Then we will translate that story for you. Some things are just scary, and today I am home alone. I don't know if I'll be able to listen to that voice note or I'll wait for the sun to come up. So there is a message that I want to share with you guys, and this message, it reads like this. Hello, my brother, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? My brother, I am a lady who is currently staying here with my husband here in the capital city of our country. My husband is a man who has a lot of money. When we speak of people that have money, my husband is someone that is not like always on social media. He actually hates social media. But if he was on social media, I am sure that he was going to be one of these men that they call mbingas, the richest of the richest. My husband has several businesses across Southern Africa. So the problem being married to a businessman is that your husband is not always at home. Most of the times he will be out and about managing his businesses, and these men, usually when they have money, they think that it gives them the authority to have as many women as they want. In each and every country where my husband has a business, I know for a fact that he will be dating a local, and some of these women, they know me and they respect me. They know that I am their madam, and they do not like try to hide the fact that they are my husband's side chick, even though they just know me from afar. But this pains me a lot, my brother. So it then happened that my husband bought this other big residential stand in an area whereby he wanted to develop more properties, because we started a small real estate company. It is just a side hustle. It's not like my husband needs that money anyway, since he is a mining magnate. But he said that this residential area, these properties that he wants to develop, it is sort of like a legacy that he wants to leave behind. And my brother, that was when I then told my husband that I also wanted to have my property as well, so that after this area has been fully developed, these houses are going to be very expensive. So it is like a small investment for me. So this house that I am building, I am using my own money, my own side pocket money that my husband gives me. That is the money that I used to buy off some of the land from him, and I have been building in that area ever since. So whilst I was building, I then became friends with this other guy. He's such a young guy. This guy, I will name him Abel. So this guy, when he came into my life, he was such a blessing, because this other company that I had given the contract to build this mansion, they had been robbing me. They had been inflating the prices. Like if they would go to the shop, if they would find that cement will be costing such a price, then they would come back and they would put a very huge markup. As someone that is always indoors, I'll just think that maybe that is the truth. It was only after this guy had started working for me, and the funny thing about it is that when I employed this guy, he had to do a very small business. So he had to do a small renovation, and when I sent him to buy the materials, upon his return, unlike that other company that used to work for me, they never gave me receipts. But this guy, he came with the receipts. As I was looking at the receipts, that was when I found out that those guys, they had been robbing me. This guy Abel, he came as a blessing into my life. I then saw that my dream was going to become reality. Anything that I wanted started, I would always drive into town with him, and he would actually show me the materials that I was supposed to buy and which stores that I was supposed to buy these materials at much discounted prices. I grew very close to Abel, that handyman of mine, and during our drives to buy building supplies, he always told me that I was such a brave, intelligent woman. And once a man tells you that you are an intelligent woman, there is something that it does to you. And I beg all the men out there, when you are married, try to, like, when you are with your wife, you try to give her some praises, try to tell her sweet words, because us as women, this is what we want to hear 24/7. But as for my husband, he thinks that him having a lot of money, this makes him not to be in that category whereby he has to tell me sweet words each and every time. Well, Abel was that guy that I knew that whenever I want to hear something sweet, I'll just lie to him that there is some materials that I want to go and buy. Then he would be telling me all of those sweet words. But deep down, I knew that I didn't have any feelings for him. Like, his class and my class, they were very far apart. There was no way that I would ever date such a guy. If I was going to cheat on my husband, then I was going to do it with another business tycoon. I was never going to lower my level to Abel's level, but I just loved the way that he spoke with me. One day, my brother, I went and I wanted to see how my project was going. I went there and it was a hot day here in Zim. It is very hot. So I then said, since I want to go and meet up with these other ladies at the church where I am attending, there was a only ladies church meeting. I said, well, I do not want people to say that I am smelling all that sweat, since I had been running around buying some materials that Abel had told me to bring when I was coming to view my house. I then went to this other cottage. Since they had already finished building that cottage, I went there. I needed a quick shower, and I knew that these contractors, they were busy doing their finishing touches there by the main house. And as I was bathing, I was hearing them getting busy, hammering around with their heavy tools. I was all by myself in the shower, but suddenly I sensed that there was someone that was staring at me. I thought, well, that is very creepy. When I turned around, I then saw that Abel was there. He was just standing there and he was staring at me. He was staring at my naked body. I quickly rushed to cover myself, and then when I tried to cover myself, he then gave me my bra. I said, where did you pick up my bra? And it was like, I picked it up when I was going around, just looking around. That was when I picked up your bra. I got so angry at him, and I said, yeah, when it fell, it must have made so much noise, like an earthquake, that you heard it from the main house. I said angrily as I snatched it back from him. And I do not even know what happened exactly, because before I knew it, I was responding to his touches. And then he took me into the shower. Me and him, we then started kissing and making love. And I didn't want to do this thing, but this man, the way that he was pressing his body against my body, I felt so weak. And for many months, my own husband, whom I will call Mr. Smith, he had been avoiding me. As to why he was avoiding me, I do not even know. My brother, I made that one grave mistake that ended up causing me a lot of problems. So me and my husband, when we met, I didn't have anything. So his family, since he comes from a wealthy family, they made me to sign a lot of papers. And at that time, I didn't understand exactly what I was doing. I was just desperate to be married to this rich guy. But in the end, after I had managed to get some lawyers of my own, they studied the documents and they told me that what the documents were saying was that after getting married to him, if there was going to be any form of intimacy with any other man apart from him, I was going to lose everything, and it was going to be the end of me. My husband is a well-connected and a well-oiled man. If he wants to take my kids like right now, he can actually do it. My brother, I knew that this mistake that I had done it was going to cost me a lot, and that thought of losing my kids drove me nuts. Later that same evening, after I had made love to Abel, I then received a text message from him. He was telling me how nice it was when he was with me in the shower. I could not even reply the message because my husband was busy working on his computer, trying to make this guilty feeling that I had to go away. I went and I tried to seduce my husband so that he can take me to bed, but he said that he was too busy for me. My brother, I then returned back to my phone and I started playing around with my phone. This man, Abel, he kept on sending me some of his pictures, and after sending me his pictures, he kept on deleting them. My brother, this thing that started happening between me and Abel, it was not okay at all. This man, he threatened me and he told me that he was going to show these messages like to my husband, and I said I do not care. Go ahead and show him. So what I didn't know is that this guy, after we had made love, when I was in the love making mode, he had actually taken my private number. He had my business number, but the other number that none but my family members have it, he had actually gotten hold of it. He said that he was going to show my husband this number, and I knew that this was very dangerous, and I kept on thinking of how I could end this guy's life. The money to do it, my brother, I had it. The money to have him killed and disappear forever, I had it, but I kept on hesitating, and I didn't want to do something that could end up with me being in prison. My brother, I just needed to clear my mind. So I then thought of a better idea. I said, I then said to myself, I am not going to allow this guy to come into my life and to destroy my life. I said this to myself as I was looking at everything that I had. I had the latest fleet of cars at my disposal. My children, they went to private schools. I had hired helps to help me with everything that I wanted to be done. To the outside world, I had like the perfect life, the perfect husband, and the perfect little family. But little did the world know that deep down inside, I was a dying woman. My husband had little or no respect for me at all. He slept and he chased skirts all over the place. Where he would go, he would actually sleep with another woman there. Our love life was dying. Our sex life was non-existent, and I started blaming his own family because the way that they would speak with him, they kept on telling him that he was the man of the house and he could do whatever he wanted to do. My mother-in-law had spoiled my husband because he was like the last born in the family. I tried really hard, trying to fight for him the first time that I found out that my husband had been cheating on me, but the little strength that I had in me, it then withered off. And it was really worse in the church because they kept on saying that I had to pray for my husband. The time that I had gone and spoken with the pastor said, pray for your husband. And I kept on thinking, how was I supposed to pray for a man that humiliates me in such a way, that abuses me emotionally? And I kept on asking myself, did he ever pray for me? Did he ever pray for himself, for his womanizing ways? My brother, I kept on saying that marriage is supposed to be enjoyable, not to be endured. But I had made another mistake to sleep with a man that didn't have any class. Abel, whenever he was looking at me, he was seeing a walking ATM machine whereby he will keep on pressing the right buttons, and I would be giving him money. The mistake that I did, my brother, is that when he threatened me, I then offered him money. After offering him the money, he kept on coming back. He kept on demanding more. Whenever I would be with him, if he would say that he want to sleep with me without protection, if I would refuse, then he would say, well, it is fine, you can go back to your husband. And by saying that you can go back to your husband, he would be threatening me. Then I would give him some money. I grew so tired and I grew so thin and pale. I was losing health, my brother. I tried to keep myself busy, but each and every time when I would try to ignore Abel will come and he will start speaking with my husband. In the meantime, when he will be speaking with my husband, he will be looking at me And so I did a stupid mistake. I thought that this thing that I was going to do, it was actually going to stop him from ever coming back to me. I invited Abel for this other housewarming party so that I could put my plan in motion, and I offered him something to drink. But what I had done is that I had spiked his drink with sleeping pills, and after he had drunk, my brother, I followed him and he went to sleep. As he had passed out, I took his phone and I erased everything that was in it, and I put it in water and I dried it off and I put it back into his pocket. All of this, my brother, it was for my sanity, because his threats were becoming too much to bear. I knew that once his phone was not going to start, he would know that this is the end of the line for him. But my brother, I was so wrong. This guy, he was coming back, and he was coming back for more. He wanted to finish me off.